Hi there, Karen Flaherty from Living by Human Design. Hope you're doing well today. Today in the Human Design Weather, we're going to be talking about the Gate 54, which is all about ambition. Okay, so the Sun in Gate for 54 started late, very late on January 5th, almost around midnight. And it continues until January 11th around midday. And the Earth is in Gate 53, beginnings. So we've got the Sun in Gate 54, which comes off the left side of the root center. And then the 53 is right next to it. It's off the top of the root center. And it's all about beginnings. So you can imagine that's a nice pairing, right? Ambition and beginnings. So starting things with ambition. And it's a very potent energy when people have it. They tend to get a lot done. They tend to be very ambitious people. So we'll talk about that in a few minutes. But for the first few days, the definition is in the sacral and the spleen and the root. And really, it's just about finishing up on the 8th. So the sacral, spleen, and root were all defined. And then the rest of the week, it's pretty much open. So and Mercury is not retrograde anymore. In fact, the only thing that is retrograde is, I think, Saturn, and so it's and that goes away in a few days. And so, generally energetically, what they're saying is that with all the planets in direct motion or forward motion, so to speak, we should be experiencing a lot of energy, a lot of movement, a lot of, things that you've wanted to do for a long time should be moving forward with more ease and hopefully with grace. So this Sun in Gate 54 is all about ambition. In the I Ching, they call it drive or the marrying maiden. I love this term because it's basically the ambition for women, right? Of those times in, thousands and thousands of years ago, you couldn't have a business as a woman, but you could marry up, right? So every time they called it the marrying maiden because for women who were ambitious, it meant marrying for more money, more prestige, things like that. So they call it interaction in its mundane social context, but also one's mystical and cosmic relationships. And so it can be in the very material context, but it can also be a very spiritual kind of energy in terms of being ambitious to help others and help others benefit by your own ambition. The incarnation crosses this week are the crosses of penetration, ambition, and cycles. And in quantum human design, it's called divine inspiration. And then the gate 53 is all about beginnings. It's starting things. It's development or beginnings in the original I Ching, development as a structured progression that is both steadfast and enduring. So it's starting projects that are meant to last, starting things that are meant to stick around. Maybe not necessarily get finished, but to be durable once they get started. In the Gene Keys, immaturity is the shadow here, expansion is the gift, and superabundance is the CD, which is kind of nice to hear. And in quantum human design, starting is the term we use for that. So in the Gene Key 54, we've got the shadow is greed, and there the repressive side is unambitious people, and the reactive side is very greedy people, greedy just for the sake of material possessions. The gift is aspiration, and then the CD is ascension. And so this is where it does take on a very spiritual role, where first you're wanting, you're ambitious and you're getting the material possessions, but then you realize that that doesn't really feed the soul, right? That doesn't feed you for contentment or fulfillment. And so we get to the point where it's aspirational in that you're getting the material possessions, but you're doing it to help other people. You're ambitious in a way that allows for other people to benefit from the things that you're doing. And so, or that a group is doing, perhaps. And then the CD is ascension. And Richard says that really the only thing to do for ascension is to continue on the aspiration side, to keep doing, keep helping, to keep basically sharing the wealth as you acquire goods and possessions and material stuff. Because everybody needs material things, to eat and house themselves and for clothing and things like that. There's still not, everyone in the world has everything they need. And so perhaps some of the material possessions that one person has can help other people. So that's the idea there. Um, and as I said, on the repressive side, it's unambitious, and the reactive side is greedy. It's just pure, unadulterated greed. He also says in the graphic, the flow of prosperity is directly proportional to the flow of energy at all levels within your life, beginning with your own body. So you want to take care of yourself and then take care of others, right? So it's not it's not a selfless kind of energy. It's more of taking care of you first, being ambitious yourself, learning what that is, figuring out what it is in your life. How does that work? How does that work with your purpose? What really makes you passionate in the world? And then allowing it to help others in some way. Because most, from what I see, a lot of the businesses that are out there, a lot of the not for profits, for profit businesses, I mean, they all play a role. Everybody can help other people in some way. And so, just because you're making cornflakes doesn't mean you can't be doing something for the community as well. So anything that's abundant, anything that's creative and helping other people is a way to bring the cycle up of ambition. Ambition isn't bad, and greed isn't bad. It's not a bad thing, according to Richard. It's a good thing. It's what makes the world go round in a way. It's what has created so many of our civilizations. But other people need to be helped as well. And that's where the ascension or the aspiration comes in, which then leads to ascension. He also says greed is an energy that will compromise its own integrity in a flash to what it wants. And this is its downfall. So basically, if you are giving up on your own integrity and not doing what you value and not doing what makes sense for you, that's when it's, I would say it's a downfall that's perhaps in a karmic sense, that people can't, people who are greedy and who don't, who aren't helping other people in some way, aren't helping either the community or helping with the creative ventures that they're involved in, they're going to be alone eventually. And what good is that? People don't want to be alone. Most of us don't want to be alone. It's the almost the Ebenezer Scrooge kind of personality that might have this ambition in the shadows, on the shadow side. It's the people who are aspirational and who are helping others that are able to move up on the hierarchy of ambition. And so that flow of prosperity can keep flowing as long as you're sharing it with other people, as long as you're helping other people and on different levels and finding others to help who are in alignment with your own agenda, with your own values, with your own type of business. It's all, it can work for you and for them as well. So we have a number of people. This gate 54 can be the right angle cross of penetration, which is a very penetrating energy. These are people who get your attention. They're able to get your attention because they usually have the gate of shock on the other side of the 54 and the 53. Shock and intuition is usually on the other side for the right angle cross of penetration. And so these people are intuitive, shocking, and then they have the ambition and they can get things started. So we've got a number of actors, actresses, singers, Joan of Arc, David Bowie, Rod Stewart, a lot of people with big, kind of big energy, big plans and big careers. So hope you have a wonderful week this week. I hope you find a way to be, perhaps it's a good time to start the plans that you've got for the new year. Don't forget the actual human design new year doesn't start until January 21st. And so this is kind of the run up to the new year, right? But ambition and next week, the gate 61 is all about taking in energy of really abstract ideas. So these are all very creative energies that can allow you to start to ramp up your year so that so that you're achieving the kind of goals that you want to achieve, as long as as I mentioned previously, some of those softer goals, some of the things that you may not have had a chance to do over the past few years because of COVID or isolation or your own medical challenges or financial challenges or family challenges. Put some of those softer goals in this year so that you're sure to um, make a point of at least remembering that that's what you wanted to do. So have a great week, and I will see you next time. Be well.